Alright guys, welcome back to another Rockman XI video, and today we're going to go ahead and do a quick beginner's guide. I know that Global had their release about 2 weeks ago, give or take. So there's a lot of questions about what does this mean, how do I do this, how do I do that. So I want to go ahead and show you. Obviously right now I am playing the Taiwan version of the game, so thus far we've had a little over a year in the game. So you know, global players, in a way, that's kind of a treat for you because you can kind of anticipate what's coming up next as far as banners, and you can wisely use your EMs, and that way you can save your EMs and use them for a later banner, you know, whatever the case may be. So so first and foremost, we want to go ahead and talk about your level. So up here at this top left right there is your level. Your level determines your ability to grow as far as your power. Okay, the way that you grow your level is obviously by doing actual levels in the game, which give you experience points. So in this case, it's giving you 64 experience for this level in particular. If I skip dive, we'll take a look, and it gives us 96 experience. So you can skip dive however many times you want and rack up the experience in that way. In the beginning, levels say 1 to 20, skip diving, you know, your skip times 10 is very, very beneficial because you'll be able to raise your level really quickly. And with that being said, you can do a lot more things, right? After level 20, I would even argue maybe level 30, skip diving isn't as necessarily beneficial. Like sometimes it's better to just, you know, actually play the levels per se, right? Anyway, so that's the way to do it, and obviously you need a certain level to be able to take on certain stages, right? So that doesn't stop you from being able to do a stage, but it just becomes a lot easier. So for example, my Rico is at 620,000, but if I switch over to Black Zero, we've got 722,000, right? So now going back, that's your overall level, right, for your account. Now what makes each unit unique is that each character has a different set of abilities, right? So if we look here, these properties gives us the ability to understand whether this unit is more power rather than defense, or more defense rather than power, you know, so on and so forth, right? So in this case, X, as far as B class, is high in attack, but he's really low on support, right? So anything as far as buffs and stuff like that, he's going to get really low support there. So the way to offset that is obviously through cards, right? Right now, in my understanding, is through the global version. There's no cards just yet, but there eventually will be. So you'll be able to offset some of the, in this case, some of the support that X lacks through some of the cards, right? So just keep an eye out for that, global players, when that happens, right? When that comes out, right? So another thing that affects your power level is your skills, right? So each unit has a specific set of skills, excuse me, both active and passive. So for the purposes of this video, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Black Zero, right? Black Zero is fully boosted from my end, is at 5 stars. His gallery is at 90, and I'll explain the gallery in a minute. So because I've been able to get him up to 5 stars, I can go ahead and activate anyone. I can choose any one of the active skills however I like, and these equips right here, right? So I can choose any which one of them that I'd like and use that, right? That in itself does affect your power level, right? So some will say increase the damage rate by 5%. So this in itself is 335% attack when you charge forward. So if I add this on there, it increases the damage rate by 5%. So this times 5% gives you the total attack power for the Raikusen, right? The Sea Flasher, same thing, gives you 104% when you use it. And again, each one, so increase the damage by 40% after penetration. So you could go ahead and say that it's 104% times, what is this one? 40%, right? So, passive skills. Passive skills are skills that you do not activate on command. They just happen, okay? Now, the way that you activate or you access these passive skills is by increasing the stars, right? The way you increase the stars, I'll explain that in a minute. But let's go over the passive skills, right? So the damage, you reduce the damage taken by 10% for armor, protection, mobility. Savage Pursuit makes you faster, so on and so forth. So you get to activate all these, and these are all passive. Like these, you do not have to push any kind of button for this to happen. It just happens based off of whatever is happening, right? So, so if you are getting attacked, then you automatically get damage reduced by 10%, right? If you automatically use, or if, should I say, you use the Raikusen, right? In this case, then you go into accelerated state, increasing your mobility by 41%, your movement, 41%, and you get a protective shield, right? You also get melee mastery, so you increase the damage by 20% when equipping a melee weapon. So if you equip a buster, if you equip a whatever it is that you use outside of a melee, outside of a sword, then you're gonna lose that buff, right? So kind of keep that in mind. Those things are useful. Now, how do I access all of these considering the stars, right? Well, that's the rank up. Okay, so in this case, obviously I have them all the way ranked up. It's 5 stars. The way to rank them up, obviously, is by, it is a gacha game, so you go ahead and pull for the unit. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at a unit that I do not have fully 5 stars. So let's go ahead and take a look at UAX. And in this case, for me to get him up to 4 stars, I need 80 memories of UAX. And the way I do that is either by summoning for him in a specific banner. So that's not always the case that's open right now. So for example, if there is a banner that does not feature him, then it doesn't make sense to pull or summon for that, right? However, if you are a whale and you go deep into the summons just, to get patches or whatnot, you can go into the regular store and collect patches for this specific memory. The way that you do that is you go to the store. If it loads, there you go. And then you go ahead and choose Ultimate Armor X, and you exchange the amount of memories that you have for this unit, right? So obviously I don't have enough for 50 memories. I would need 80. So total of this is 1,500. Let's see, what's 1,500 plus? So 1,500, so 2,400. So I would need 2,400 memories in order to increase the star rank by 1, from 3 stars to 4 star. Okay, so the way the step works is different for S rank, A rank, and B rank characters. And let's take a look at that. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at, for example, we'll look at one that has 0. So he's got 0 stars. So you raise him up by 40 memories. Then to raise up the next one, it's 50 memories. To raise them up to 3 star is 60 memories. To raise them up to 4 star is 80 memories. And to raise them up to 5 star, and it's different for every character, but my understanding is it's 100 memories. Yeah, 100 memories. Okay. So in total, I'm not going to, I'll put the math on the video. There we go. It should pop up. There we go. That's however many memories you need for an S rank character to be fully boosted to 5. Okay. So again, the ability to, as you guys can see, These are locked because I don't have them at 4-star. I don't have base at 4-star and 5-star. Okay. The other thing that what the stars do is eventually for global players is that it'll unlock these, right? So let's take a look at, for example, so second armor X only has one slot available for cards, but does not have the second and third. Okay. So you need to get him up to at least 4 stars to unlock all 3. Okay. So kind of keep that in mind. Again, the cards, offset some of the downsides that this particular character has. So for example, second armor X lacks a little bit of attack, so I would probably want to put him with cards that have attack boost. Okay, so now let's go into the cards, since we're talking about that, right? Global players, keep this in mind, put this on a skyhook for later. Because your cards are not going to be active. I haven't played global, so I don't know just yet, but if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. But my understanding thus far is that you don't have access to cards. When you do get access to cards, they will be here actually. So let's go ahead. You'll go to character and you'll go to cards. And then you'll get a plethora of different cards that you'll be able to use. Okay. Each card has a different effect. So let's go ahead and take a look at the one for Black Zero. Where are you? So let's take a look at this one that I have for Black Zero. So at 75% or more, HP, health points, increase the damage by 6%. So the reason why I have him active on Zero, Black Zero, is because if I constantly spam the Raikusen, I'm being protected by my shield. Therefore, I am more than likely my health is not going to decrease from 100%, even maybe 90%. So keep that in mind. So this is really helpful. And each card has a restriction, obviously, sometimes. So for example, we're going to take a look at where are you? Furham's card right there, Furham. So the active condition for the first slot is that it needs to be put into Furham, not in anyone else. You could put it in somebody else for the second slot, but ideally it makes sense to put it in for him. Okay. Obviously, the way that you raise up the power level of the cards is through either powering up. That means getting duplicates of the same card and feeding it into that card, and it raises the star level. So I have it at 5 stars. Or you could just simply throw that in there and it raises the power level. Okay. Another way is by using the item power ups that you collect in events, stages. You can trade them in the store for either EMs or special tokens that you get from events and stuff like that. So that's cards, and again, you collect them in many different ways. Events, special events. You can even get them from buying them in the shop, things like that. All right. All right. So another way to increase your power is through your weapons. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at weapons real quick right here. And each weapon, as you can see, you're going to want to increase the stars as much as possible. However, at first you might be overwhelmed and say, holy crap, there's so many weapons. I want to 5-star all of them. Yes, I would love to do that too. However, there's only a finite amount of resources that you can get unless you're a whale. And I mean a mega whale, because this game is actually not, too free to play friendly, right? It does have some aspects of free to play friendliness, but in order to really make an effort in this game and win in PvP and things like that, then you're gonna have to throw in a lot of money. So regardless, let's go ahead and take a look at the Sniper Buster, right? 5 stars. Okay. Again, same concept as with units. You 5-star a unit the same way that you 5-star your weapons, right? You exchange them in the for memories, okay? And then you level it up. So let's go ahead and take a look at a weapon that I do not have leveled up. So the explosive blower is at 643,000 attack points, right? Or the total power, right? I don't have any experience. I don't have any cards to raise its power, right? But if I were to raise the power, oh, it doesn't say right there. But if I were to raise it, it would go up by like, say, maybe 650,000, right? So that's one way to raise the power is by using these. The next piece is by upgrading this thing right here. I don't know exactly what to call this, but to upgrade this. And each one has a different, purpose. So, for example, the attack raises the attack points, right? HP raises the HP when using this weapon. So, if I equip this weapon and I have this weapon's HP maxed up all the way, then it increases the health buff on my character. Crit obviously is getting crit attacks. The rate of getting crits. Hit is obviously kind of honing in on that unit. So for example, if I'm coming across a boss or even like a PvP opponent, the probability of me hitting them is going to be high if I increase the rate in my hitbox, right? On top of your crit. So now you combine the two, you get a higher chance at hitting and possibly critting at the same time. Luck is interesting. So it's more so based on the luck of the ability to use all these, or specifically crit, hit, and luck at the same time. Now, luck does affect sometimes events that are specific to weapons, right? So, for example, right now, right now, one of the weapons that are being highlighted in, at least in the Taiwan version of the game, is the what is this called? The gas emitter, right? So the gas emitter, the higher luck possible that you have, the higher the ability for you to be able to get the tokens in that stage, right? By defeating, enemies and stuff like that. We talked about how to rank. And then obviously these are the skills that look very similar. If not, they look very, very similar to the units, right? Each one has a different ability. And some can be increased, whether it be attack or defense, right? Now, uniquely, global players, you don't have this just yet, but you will, is that uniquely you'll get a 7th skill, right? There's only a few weapons that have a 7th skill. So at the current moment for global, you don't have this right now, but sometimes you'll get a 7th skill that you can roll again. So these are permanent. These 6 are permanent. This one right here, the 7th, is not necessarily permanent. So I can draw this again and get a different effect, right? Then you add a chip, which I'll explain in a bit. Chips will help you and will activate when you do certain things with these weapons. So kind of keep that in mind, that this right here adds to this right here. Okay. So those are your weapons. And kind of keep that in mind. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at armor. Armor is super important. So as you can see, armor right here helps and it gives you a bonus, right? So my HP is increased by 120,000. My defense is increased by 3,000. My attack is increased by 6,000, right? That's because of the armor that I have. Now, let's take a look at how these decrease if I throw one of these on, right? Let's go ahead and change that. Okay. So now my HP is increased by 12,000. Defense increased by 3,000. But now my attack's gone. There's no attack buff. Okay. And as you can see, my total power is 710,000. Let's go back. And let's put this on. Our attack is back 6,000. And my total power is 722,000. So as you can see, it does worlds of difference. Okay. Then you've got a couple of things here that are consumables. You can, open these crates and it gives you different things. Some of these things give you memories. Some of these things give you cards, stuff of that nature. So really important. So now going back to the armor, right? Now, when you complete the co-op events, after you complete the co-op events, you get these, which are for the most part like the basic ones. But when you get enough armor parts, you can actually combine armor and you can make them either primer or advanced. Obviously, the better option is advanced, but it costs more parts and it costs more zenny, which is up top here. The zenny, as you can see. You can go ahead and create a helmet, an upper body, hand, drive, lower body, and foot, right? And then you've got the different levels right here. Okay. Now, let's go into the lab. Well, let me make sure. Oh, chip, actually. Sorry, the chips. So the chips you gain through special events or special boss fights. There's a permanent boss fight. We're going to go to DiVe and we go to challenge and we go to the boss fights right here. Each boss fight drops certain memory that'll allow you to use it to increase the stars of your chips, right? So we'll take a look at Chill Penguin. What Chill Penguin does is that it throws a shotgun ice when you're using a buster, a cannon, whatever projectile based weapon you're using. Okay, so in this case, it throws an ice blast of 19.52% attack damage, and it slows the target. So it's really helpful. You can also level them up very much the same way as you would level up weapons. They use different training chips, so they look very different. So if you use weapon chip trainers for your weapons, you might get scared and be like, I won't have any for my chips. They use different chips, so keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and level him up. And now his total power went up. Same way we would rank him up. So let's take a look at somebody that isn't fully ranked. You got it right there. It tells you how to get it, acquisition method, Prince of Skies, and its Storm Eagle special event, right? So some cannot be acquired right now. So when their events are on, it is imperative to be able to collect as many as possible. Even sometimes extras, because you never know when you can exchange them for something, right? Analysis also increases the level power, so it gives you a buff. It gives you an attack buff right here. As you can see, if I raise it up by 4, my analysis level, my attack buff goes from 1075 to 1400. HP goes up. Defense goes up as well. So defense goes up actually immensely. So for a chip, considering, right? So as you can see, I'm not able to, rank up all of these because it's expensive. There's only so many resources that I have to be able to use. So now, I already explained cards. I already explained that. The next piece is the lab, right? In the lab, you can collect different things. And let's go ahead and collect all these things real quick. As you can see, I got a 0 memory that you can farm from research, but that's only when you get up to research 3. For global players, you might be at research level 1, 2, and 3. Once you get up to 3, that's where you get kind of like some premium stuff. As you'll see, the first couple of rounds when you research, you'll see that this number isn't 1, it's 10 or 20, something around there. And that's how you can rank up, different weapons, different units, stuff like that, right? So these, the more you do these, the more your research level experience goes up, so you can unlock different stages of research. So, and again, it's just all you're doing is passively collecting different game resources. So now, that was for items. Now skills. Skills is interesting because skills are interchangeable and you can switch and swap them out. And each skill does a different thing. So for example, this is an electric spark and it sends spark shocks, left to right and right to left. This is an energy sub tank, kind of a very iconic, piece of the game, classic Mega Man games where you collect, energy tanks and refill them. So this, restores your HP. However, it's a one-time use per level. So kind of keep that in mind. So each one does different things. They're capped at different levels. So for example, the first one is at 25, then 30, 30, 35, so on and so forth. Each one will have a different attack power, right? So we're going to take a look at the Astral Crush. It sends 6 meteors from outside of the screen into the screen, and deal 305% attack damage to targets within range, right? However, for this crescent shot, it's periodically deal 154% attack damage to targets within the range. So you could interchangeably, this is kind of, this is, if a meteor hits the unit, it's 305%. And you just pray to God that at least one of them hits. Or you could use this and just, stand in front of the enemy and it'll automatically start dealing damage, right? Some are more of like, defense buffs. So for example, this one gives a defense buff of 27.6% and also reduces damage by 27.6%. So in total, you're reducing damage by 55.2%, right? So, really cool. Same thing, you can level them up, but they require different resources. But again, you can farm them from different levels and stages and stuff. Same thing, you can rank them up. However, ranking them up takes it a little bit different. So some have no way to get it because they're event specific. So kind of keep that in mind. All right, going back to the lab, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the lab, and we're going to go ahead and go to backup. Sorry. So sometimes it's very, very beneficial to raise the stars and the overall level of each weapon, because you can put this in your backup and it'll give you a buff. Okay. So for example, I don't think there's necessarily a way to take it off. Let me see. So let's choose the Pyro Executioner, which is at level 1 star. Let's see, is there somebody else that's level 1 0 stars? The Falcon Bautista, level 1 0 stars. Okay. So my current total power is 543,000. Let's see. Now it changes to 491,000. So it drastically changed it. It drastically affected it. So we're going to go ahead and throw that baby back in there. I know this was a different weapon actually, so it increases my attack power. So, and each one is unlocked through different level unlocks, right? So this one, I think the first time you can unlock it, I want to say it's like level 80 or something. I don't remember. But subsequently, you would unlock it at level 90, level 100, so on and so forth, right? I don't remember the exact level, so don't quote me yet. But, you can, throw in different weapons and it'll buff you up, both attack and HP. Okay. Mix and match, and it'll let you know kind of where it gives you more buffs, right? So, feel free to play around with this. This is a really fun mode to use. And you can also, so as you can see, you can raise them up to level 5. What that does is that, it doesn't it raises the attack and HP acquisition of the weapon so that it goes into your total power, right? So in this case, I need to be level 30 and I need to get special amplifiers in order to upgrade my backup slot. Okay. So for the most part, that's it. Now the last piece is the gallery, which a lot of people forget, even I. All right. I play this game pretty religiously and I tend to forget this part. But here's the gallery. So the gallery gives you a power boost as well. The gallery is tedious. As you can see, I don't have everybody at 100%, right? In order to get, units and weapons and cards up to 100%, you have to complete certain missions, right? So for example, let's take a look at Black Zero. Black Zero, in order for me to get him up to 100%, I need to complete the arena 30 more times, right? As you can see, I don't play PvP often, super often. I did before, but I haven't done it as often. I need to complete it 30 times. It'll unlock it, and I'm pretty sure it'll unlock it to 95. So Black Zero will be at 95, and it'll tell me to do PvP probably like 60 more times or something, right? Whatever the case may be. Is there somebody that's at 100%? Yeah. Throw Armor X, yeah, completion of the arena 100 times, right? So it is tedious in a way, but it's doable. Once you complete all of these, there we go, all of these, it'll buff your gallery level and it'll give you a higher power. Same thing with the weapons. Same thing with the cards. So the weapons, for example, let's take a look at the Sniper Buster. So very similar, complete the arena 100 times. Total of the upgrade reached 40, so on and so forth, right? So gallery, very much similar for the cards. You really, it's a lot simpler for the cards. All you have to do is increase the ranks. For the most part, 4-star or if not 5. The first step is always just unlocking the card. Usually the last step is increasing the level by 30. So, fairly easy ways to increase the gallery for the cards. So, kind of keep that in mind. So, for the most part, that's it. And this is, for a lot of global players that are a little confused, they don't know which way to go, they don't know what's what, kind of keep that in mind. Bear in mind, this is, for global players, I'm prophesizing I've been playing this game for a little over a year, is save your EMs and then take a look at the wiki, which I'll go ahead and take a look at right now. All right, we're at the Dokkan Wiki. This is the website. And again, I'm going to put the website in the link. I'm going to put the link in the description. Okay. And in the Dokkan Wiki, you can go ahead and take a look at pretty much any questions that you might have, right? However, keeping in mind is that it shows you what characters have already been released specifically for Taiwan, right? So you've got all the way up to the most recent one, which is, I don't know why I didn't do that. Festive Leviathan, right? The one before that was X-Kai, right? So studying each one of these, you can thus far figure out, well, should I use my EMs or save for them, right? Additionally, as you can see, let's go back to the banner. See right here, it only shows the current Asian banner, right? And it shows you, well, this is Iris Another. Where is Leviathan? It's not updated. It's not updated as up to date as possible. Okay. Well, you can kind of anticipate from like January to December, right? You've got Iris Another, which is an amazing unit, which I haven't played with in quite a while. I don't know why. But then you've got all these other units that have already came out before are now being thrown into the general pool. So if you don't pull, for example, Copy X, right, in his release banner, you can save up EMs and then try again in Iris's banner, right? So don't feel like defeated or whatever. The other thing is that sometimes the banners, the rate for the featured unit seems like it's good, but it's not that good. It's actually low, right? So you can save your EMs and then go into this banner and dig for Copy X, which more than likely you will get because he's not featured. So therefore, the probability of Copy X coming up more often is higher. So kind of keep that in mind. So, again, be mindful. Don't feel like you need to go into as, many banners as possible. Characters continue to come back and come back and come back. So with that being said, that was pretty much the majority of the video. I hope this was helpful. And again, if you have any questions, feel free, drop in the comments that you may be confused about something, and maybe I wasn't clear about something, so on and so forth. And I'd be more than happy to help out. So with that being said, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you guys, if you guys are in the global server, let me know how you guys are liking the game. Is it something that you were a little surprised at and you're like, holy crap, this is overwhelming? Or are you really enjoying the game and saying like, all right, this is something I can really dig my claws into for a while. So with that being said, hopefully I'll catch you in the co-op or PvP, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.